Hare Krishna to all of our viewers. Welcome to the ISKCON Commentary virtual program for this Sunday. We got a great program for you today, and we are building up to two lovely festivals. We got one tomorrow is Balaram Jayanti and Raksha Bandhan, and some days later, on a week on Wednesday, we got the big festival called Janmastami. And more on that later on. And we are planning something at the weekend. There'll be some adjustment to the announcement we made last week on that one. So as a build up to today's program, and there's a nice verse from Bhagavad Gita. Janma karma chame divyam evam yo vetti tatvatah punarjanma neti mam eti su Arjuna. So this verse is from Chapter 4, text 9, and Krishna is saying, one who knows the transcendental nature of my appearance and activities does not, upon leaving the body, take his birth again in this material world. He attains my eternal abode, O Arjuna. So Srila Prabhupada is taught the whole Bhagavad Gita to the whole world, and where Prabhupada has imbibed this message of Krishna, saying, try and get to know Krishna. And Prabhupada summarized it as knowing how to live, and then at the end of this life, knowing how to leave this world. So Krishna is saying, when you leave this world, come back to me by knowing my transcendental birth and activities. That's the whole Janmashtami. So to glorify Srila Prabhupada, let us go to Pranava family, Pranava Das and family, our head Pujari. They are at the temple preparing for Janmashtami, and they will honor Srila Prabhupada by doing his arati.
So come here. Jaya Prabhupada, 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 Jaya Prabhupada. Shri Guru Sarana Padma Kevala Bhakate Sadma Banda Mohe Savadhana Mate Jahar Prasade Bhai Evam Tori Ajai Krishna Prapti Hari Hote Guru Mukha Padma Vakka Chitte Te Korya Oiko Arana Pare Hamone Asha Shri Guru Sarane Radhe Eishayo Amagaya যে প্রসাদে পুরে সর্ব আশা যে প্রসাদে পুরে সর্ব আশা চক্ষুদান দিল যে জন্মে জন্মে প্রভুকে দিব্যজ্ঞান হৃদয় প্রকাশে প্রেম ভক্তি যাহা হইতে হবে যাবে নষ্ট যাতে বেদে গায় তাহারা তারিকা শ্রী গুরু কারুণা সিন্ধু অধম জনার বন্ধু লোকেরা জীবন শিলা প্রভুপাদ লোকেরা জীবন আহা প্রভু করুণা দেহ মোরে পর ছায়া দেহ মোরে পর ছায়া প্রেম প্রভুপাদ পাবনা আরু পদে রয়েন শরণা জয় প্রভুপাদ 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 জয় Guru Maharaj, Guru Maharaj, Guru जय ओम विष्णुपाद परमहंस पुरी व्रजकाचार्य श्री श्रीमद अभयचरण अरविंद भक्तिवेदांत स्वामी श्रील प्रभुपाद की जय। श्रील प्रभुपाद गुरु पूजा की जय। गुरु महाराज की जय। गौ प्रेमानंदी all glories to the small devotees, all glories to the small devotees, all glories to the small devotees, all glories to the Guru.
She goes. So that was great, and I hope you enjoy that Kirtan coming and Aarti to Prabhupada coming from our temple, which I'm sure you're all missing very much. Unfortunately, this virus has done this all over the world, where normal functioning has stopped. So it's we just wait for the day when scientists can find something to get us over this period in our history. So, as I said, we're going to have a lovely program today. Later on, I will be interviewing Haridas Prabhu, and we'll be updating you on the announcement we made last week and what we have planned for next weekend. And of course, we had Raghupati. Raghupati gave an excellent class just a short while ago, and it was brilliant. We enjoyed it so much, but it's only part one. Later, we'll be having part two of his class, building up to Janmastami. Now we will go over to Prem Prakash Prabhu, Ishani Devi Dase, and they will do the Kirtan now.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. So let's start the Kirtan. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Thank you.
Hare Krishna. Thank you so much for that. And nice to see Radhi again in the back playing the Vedanga. He's coming along very nicely. Thank you. I apologize to the viewers that perhaps there were some technical problems and the sound wasn't that that loud. But we know that family, and when they do sing, and again in the presence, it's very good quality. So it's maybe some technical problems we need to sort out. So I will now like to bring Haridas Prabhu, and we're going to chat. Haribol Prabhuji.
Haribol, how are you?
So welcome to our Deputy GBC for the UK.
Well,
Thank you. So last week we both got quite excited and talked about a project that Parshuram Das is running, whereby he wants to come to different towns and cook for many people, and then go out and distribute with all precautions taken. But there's been a change in the plan. Could you please explain that?
well, what's happened is because of this lockdown has been eased out a bit, and you can see many cities are being shut down again. And what's happened is when I approached the other temples, they were also excited, but then wanted to start to show concern that, look, people are not going to feel confident with the rise of this, the figures going up again. And so they were a little concerned. And we thought the same immediately. We said we can't have any incidences like that. So what a letdown, because it was really exciting. We were thinking of going to people's homes, and we're missing our congregation, and they're missing us. And so there's a lot of disappointment. We're really disappointed because people showed interest, and so we'll be able to explain to them that, look, we have postponed it. And thank you for ringing Parshuram and explaining to him that, look, we are now putting a stop to it, but we'll do it when it's safe. And I think that's a very good move. Yes, it's a good project what they're doing. Yes, that's good.
That's great. Yes. So instead, we're going to have a different project next other weekend. Could you explain that, please?
We get loads of calls about Janmastami saying, what are you doing for Janmastami? Like the manor even, they're controlling it. There's a ticket system, and their properties are bigger, and the land is big and car park. But we don't have that, so we can't risk it. But we can't let our congregation down. And they come for the deities, because remember on Janmastami Day is anniversary of our deities as well. So the very day is a double celebration. And we don't want people to be disappointed. So what we thought about is, and we got to work the details out. But I thought, let's do the fundraising for that event, because normally people come there, give donations, and for the rest of the year we have to pay bills and everything like that, and there's pujaris to be looked after. So we thought of a little project saying fundraising for Janmastami event, and then people would feel, okay, what are we giving money for? And in response, I mean, if anybody can give, I mean, at the end when we make announcements, and we'll pass on the account details where they can, give the donation for Janmastami, because let's not forget we are a charity and we are a spiritual organization, and the deities do respond. I mean, we pray so heavily to the deities for different instances which are happening every day. Last week was classic. We are praying to them, and the results are there is return to good health by people who were ill, and it's definitely working. And I think as a gratitude, and Janmastami is one of the best festival for us, and we would like to give something to the temple. And so we are thinking that let's do it this way. There's a reward system there, so everybody can donate. But those who donate, say more than £51, little baby Krishna will actually visit them, the weekend before the Janmastami. So we'll advertise. So little baby Krishna will come to their home outside in the car. You can, take darshan as well, offer flowers. And if it's not a windy day, maybe you can light a jyot or whatever, the tradition is in Bharat. And those who gave above 108, now this is it. We have never done this before. Only when the deities were going to be installed that we allowed the deities to go to different people's homes. And guess what? Those lucky people, there's got to be short list because we can't go to everybody's house. Those who give above 108 pounds, Sachinanda Nitachan will be driven to their front door, and they'll be able to offer, flowers, fruits, and whatever they want to do. And we have never done this before. And I'm telling you, there are many temples in the world now thinking how to inspire the congregation, because there's a lot of sad news around, and something like this, the Lord coming to the front door, is great news, because I'm going to do that, because I won't be able to go to the temple, being going to be 17 November. So I was thinking I'm going to miss out on Janmastami, which I've never done. You haven't. Yeah. So at least if the deities come outside there, we'll be thinking we didn't miss out on it. So what do you think of that idea? Different people getting visits from the Lordship.
I'm getting excited. Just hearing about it. And
Yes.
to me, what's happening is for the people who normally go to the temple to receive the Lord's mercy, but for the obvious reason they can't. So I think the Lordship has decided enough is enough. I'm going to go give my mercy to them personally. How's that? And
No,
they're such Nityajan other Yugavatars.
they are.
They appeared to spread and just lovingly give freely this mercy of theirs.
And isn't it amazing? We were reading Nectar of Devotion yesterday, and one of the 64 items is the deities actually go out.
Go on procession, yes.
Yeah, and when we install this deity, they are chal deities. They're moving ones, not achal. Achal is the ones who are fixed down. So combine all that, and plus, devotees are telling us when can we go to the temple. Look at this, how beautiful they look.
Oh, beautiful. Look at that.
And we have been serving.
Waiting to come and see you in your home.
It's going to be amazing.
It's an opportunity. It won't happen very often.
Yeah, Patapam was so excited. He goes, I want to be the first house you bring the deities to. And he's in Birmingham.
Yeah.
So I was thinking, okay, logistics. So what we got to do is maybe Saturday, is it 8th or something like that?
8th, yes.
8th, yeah. On that day, we can go to Birmingham, Rugby and other places like that. And then on
near Coventry, yes.
Do it locally. And then the local people can get the mercy of the Lord, coming to the front door. And I think it's a great event. We're going to break down this lockdown. And just remember, when Krishna was born, it was a lockdown situation. He was in a cell. So Krishna arranged it that the doors open, and then he goes to Vrindavan. So I think the Lordship are going to break this lockdown arrangement and come to the devotees' home. So that's called all merciful Lord. So you can't say the Lord doesn't come to me, see me. So if anybody says, have you seen the Lord? He goes, yeah, he came to my house. The children are going to get excited. Not only that, later on in the evening or in the morning on the Janmastami day, there's actually Abhishek. And on the Abhishek, all those people who are giving donations, their names will be read to the Lordship while the offering of ghee, milk, yogurt is going on. I think that's great, and they'll be able to see it streamed, on Zoom. They'll be able to see actually then the names would be read, or either somebody would be reading on the side, but they will be connected to the Abhishek. What do you think of that?
I think it's fantastic that we are finding newer ways to engage the public who unfortunately cannot come to the temple where they used to before for all these events.
Yes.
So
I would suggest the devotees put the tilak on, put dhoti, just feel you are in the temple like that, and don't stay in your pajamas and all that when Abhishek is going in, because the Lordship is getting bathed and you're in your pajamas still, maybe you need Abhishek, or shake. So I would say the Abhishek is going to be great. We're doing Balaram Jayanti tomorrow.
Yes, we are.
There'll be Abhishek as well, so if devotees want to phone in saying, okay, I pledge so much, for the thing, just remember, little Krishna who's going to take birth on Janmastami, he'll be coming to your doorsteps, if you give above 51, and if you give above 108, whatever you want to give, people have already given. And so we can make a list, and it's got to be short list, because you can only fit few houses. And remember, if you're living in Solihull, Rugby, Hinckley, wherever, so please book now, and Anuragi will give you the account number and reserve the visit now, because later on, I know it. When we start off, people are still thinking, and then near the day, people say, oh, Prabhuji, what about me? And we can't have the deities. They're fed in the morning, and then they'll have to be back at the temple at a particular time. So it's very, very important that actually people, make a decision earlier on and let us know about it so we can organize it properly. Because, what sort of caution we would have to take with the Prabhu, because you're experienced and this sort of thing?
Well, luckily, we saw other yatras doing something similar. So definitely, the people in the car will have to be chosen well, and there must be devotees, obviously, because that
initiated,
with our deities.
Yes.
They will be masked. They'll probably have gloves. And
will the deities have masks as well?
I don't think so.
It'll be strange, mask on the. You remember when they were installed, they had a mask on the eyes.
The eyes were covered. Eyes are covered.
Yes.
Yes. So and what there'll be two cars, one car with the deities, and the second car which is the support. That the people in with the deities, they will not come out of the car; they stay
Okay.
in the car.
Okay.
It's a second car with the support devotees. They will come out, jump out, and then make sure that the house we're visiting, the house members, don't come too close to the car
Yes.
because
So
the
maybe they
devotees
ring
in the
them
car.
ahead. They ring them ahead that can you
Yes,
come to
yes, you will.
with
So that's why it's important. You're right that we have to schedule the visit.
yeah.
We can't take a last minute call and,
Yes.
and expect us to turn up. We can't. We have to schedule it, time it, so that the this outing for the lordships is efficient.
Yes.
And
And people can give donation anyway. I mean, if they don't want to
of
visit,
course,
please, I mean, all this is devotion and celebration of Janmasmi, Janam Karam Chame Divyam Evam Yaveti Tatvatha.
mm,
It means you understand the appearance of the Lordship. He is all auspicious. Your life is going to change, get for better. And we've experienced this loveliness. We are missing the dhams now. And Coventry Dham, our temple, is our dham. Because we feel it's Vrindavan, we feel it's Mayapur. Sachi Mata will be there. Jagannath Mishra there. Yashoda Ma is going to be there. Nanda Baba is Vasudev, Devki. And in the evening, let's not forget, we're going to have a program from 9:30 till 12:30, midnight Aarti. And I believe baby Krishna is going to be born in your house
yes, he will.
at midnight. And what arrangements
We,
have you for
oh, we're
this?
working on it. We're working on it.
Okay. So
We're
we'll be
working.
zooming into your house with the birth.
Yes, and also don't forget a lovely plan came up earlier on in the meeting that earlier on in the day, normally we'd have a big feast cooking going on in our temple, but again we can't allow that for safety reasons.
Yes.
So we want to propose that all the devotees in their own homes cook a feast, decorate your altar, cook a feast, and we are trying to arrange some sort of Zoom
Zoom.
session
Yeah.
where you point your camera, your phone camera to the feast you prepared, and we will catch it and make an offering
Simultaneously have the deities.
simultaneously. Yes, so
Time.
that'll
Yeah.
be your offering to our lordships.
That's amazing.
So yeah,
You read about it that the Lord is omnipresent, omniscient, all these things. They'll be eating not just from the table in front of them in the temple, they'll be eating from different houses coming in, my God,
yeah,
and blessing it. I
right,
think this lockdown has really revealed a whole lot of
yeah,
amazing mercy of the Lordship.
definitely. I once gave a class where I was admiring how when the pandas were in the forest in
Yes,
exile,
yes,
they're in the forest, and then Lord Krishna came to them.
yes.
The Lord came to them. Bhishma, there was lying on a bed of arrows. The Lord came to him. And there are different incidences like this where the Lord goes to his devotees. Normally, we have to make the effort to go to see the Lord in the temple, but now the Lord is coming to you. So that is amazing.
No, this is very exciting, for me. And you know what? We are really sorry that we had to cancel the other
Of
arrangement.
course, yes.
We're looking forward to it. We were going to just sort of come to your house and give the prasadam, but the other temples were really shrinking. So we really, really apologize on that. It wasn't change of mind on our side, but the whole thing we had to question and delay it. But this one is very, very exciting, and having the Lordship coming to the house, I think, and people should have their cameras ready when the deities come, and please don't touch the deities. Let others know that they're installed properly, and the pujaris, that's what they're there. So, but you can pay obeisances, offer flowers, fruit. If you want to give donation on the day, you can do that. But we would prefer, I think, they put it in the account straight away, because I don't want any exchange of, people touching or anything like that.
Yes, yes.
Yeah, our pujaris are very valuable. So, I think we're going to have a great Janmashtami. So this will be, the weekend before the Janmashtami. And then on Janmashtami day, we have Abhishek in the morning, which will be filmed. Then later on, we'll be showing the deity, live, where you can offer your boga to the Lordship. And then after 20 minutes, it's ready. So then we don't have to distribute, but the Lordship came to your house on the camera in your house, and tasted what you offered. And then at 12 o'clock midnight, there'll be a birth of baby Krishna, and Vidur, you'll be Vasudev and Devki. and then do the swinging and everything, and there'll be no cues to manage. You remember, it gets
Oh
crazy.
my goodness, yes, those cues.
But we're gonna miss Shravan and Tamal with the dole, though.
Yeah.
Maybe we have a recording of them. Devaki Nandan, Vasudeva Nandan.
Yeah,
Or
actually,
maybe Kirtan on the side.
from
Yeah,
previous Janmastami, you should have some video. That'd be great.
yeah. Actually, Tamal could still play the
Yeah,
Shravan was using it, but he could still play the dole at 12 o'clock.
yeah. No, you're always neighbors.
Oh yeah. All the elderly, they can't hear much.
Uh,
It's going good. Oh, it's fantastic.
Thank you very much, Haridas. So just a reminder to all of viewers, this is a fundraising exercise by us. Our temple does need funds for the continuous worship of our lordships up to the end of the year. And this is the major festival now, and there isn't much happening after that. So we are embarking on this fundraising venture. If you give donations,
With the Prabhu, just like to add, I've had a call from Varsana and Nandagaon, and I've been thinking about it. I leave it to the people, but to be a little generous because the lockdown situation, they're not getting many people coming. And I was thinking we're celebrating Janmastami, and it's big in Nandagaon and even Varsana. So they're saying the committee had met and they got to do Abhishek and they have to have so much ghee and so much milk and everything like that. They told me, Haridas Prabhu, could you tell your viewers, that, can they help out on that? So I got a call this morning again. They give me the account number. I know them well because they're part of the committee and everything. So I was thinking, isn't it amazing? Everybody loves Krishna, and yet there are places like Nandagaon, Varsana won't be getting funds because nobody will be coming to them. Same in Jagannath Puri, So I was going to say that we're doing this fundraising, but keep in mind if somebody feels that they would like to give towards Nandagaon or Varsana, because there's Radhashtami in a couple of weeks' time after that, and they're going to do Abhishek and Chappan Bhog and everything like that. And they said, Haridas, if you can tell your devotee friends that, it'll be nice. So we have, we can transfer some of the money over there, but not from our account because you got to have a separate account for that. But I would really appeal that it'll be very selfish of us that for our temple we raise, and then for, Vrindavan and, well, I would say Varsana and Nandagaon particularly, and, we are not be able to help them do the celebration. I think it's very, very important. I think Krishna does want to know what we're going to do about the place there. So maybe with the Prabhu, we can talk to other temples as well about it, saying if somebody feels then, want to give towards those dams, so that it continues this year. And after that, when COVID finishes and all that, I think business will be back to normal. But we can't ignore that either. That's my personal feeling. I mean, this is not as a temple I'm talking as a person. I always feel it that anybody else of the religion, their original places will be supported like anything financially, because they do need it. I mean, all those devotees there are without now any income.
I think people should be encouraged to give. Actually, the reason being, I'm seeing a lot of messages lately about Ram Bhumi Pujan happening on Wednesday, I believe.
Yeah.
And I see, people are excited about the Ram Mandir coming up in Ayodhya.
Yes.
And there's so much support going in many different ways to Ayodhya. So similarly, we should be supporting Vrindavan, Varsana, Nandagaon. So
especially Nandagaon, Varsana, because you know what, they are remote, and people do go, and that is the income for the people living there. But this will be just for the temple to carry out the abhisheks and everything. At least we can do that, So that was my personal appeal, because they call me, we're very good friends, and they'll say, Haridasi kuch kiya hamare liye, Well, yes, I'll definitely do that. And I'm sure Krishna will help. He wants to see whether we do make an appeal like that. Anyway, I'm passing this on to you. Yeah.
All right. Thank you very much, Haridas. So there'll be information. Please get in touch with us, and we'll provide information at the end of the program or afterwards through messaging about the details of which accounts the money should be transferred to. Our account details are there for our festival, but it's this supporting Varsana and Nandagaon. We can provide the details. Thank you very much, Hare Krishna. So we'd like now, just before the class, we want to go over to Alpa and welcome her to the Sunday program, and we'd like her to sing. Alpa, your Krishna is ready, I see. Yeah, Krishna is ready for his birthday. So please sing Jai Radha Madhav for us.
Thank you. Jayo Radha Madhava, Jai Ho Kunja Bihari, Jai Ho Radha Madhava, Jai Ho Kunja Bihari, Jai Ho Gopi Jana Vallabha, Jai Ho Girivaradari, Jai Ho Girivaradari. Yasodanandana Braja Janaranjana, Yasodanandana Braja Janaranjana, Yamuna Tira Vanachari, Yamuna Tira Vanachari, Jai Ho Radha Madhava, Jai Ho Kunja Bihari, Jai Ho Radha Madhava, Jai Ho Kunja Bihari. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Jayo Radha Madhava, Jai Ho Kunja Bihari, Jai Ho Radha Madhava, Jai Ho Kunja Bihari, Jayo Prabhupada, Jayo Prabhupada, Jayo Prabhupada, Jayo Prabhupada, Jayo Guru Maharaj, 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 Jayo Guru Maharaj. Nittai Gaura Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Nittai Gaura Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Bol Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Hari Bol. Jai Radha Madhav ki Jai.
Hey, thank you much, Alpa. Was that your son playing in the background? Was Arjun playing? Very nice. Thank you. Now for part 2 of the class on Krishna Janmastami by His Grace Raghupati Das. Now, Raghupati Das, such a pleasure to have you back again on our program.
Thank you.
Last time it was so enjoyable, and this will be equally enjoyable, even more so, I hope. Now, I just want to mention to our viewers that you actually are very, very knowledgeable, and you have a senior role in the ISKCON Ministry of Educational Development. So perhaps just a few words at the beginning, your role in ISKCON for education. Just a couple of minutes, and see how people can then understand who you are.
Okay, Hare Krishna. So again, nice to be in the Association of Coventry Devotees. It's always a pleasure to be in the midst of you. As far as my services in the ministry in the past, I was involved in the ministry as a divisional director of education for ISKCON, working with the Minister of Education. And then I have been in the core committee. Currently, I'm teaching a course, Bhakti Shastri course for ISKCON Leicester. And in the past, I have been involved in education in many capacities. For example, I was teaching various courses in Bhaktivedanta College in Radhadesh. I've also taught Bhakti Shastri, a first online course from Mayapur Institute. We also established a full MBA program online at Radhadesh, Bhaktivedanta College, Radhadesh, which was supported by Ambrish Prabhu, Alfred Ford. So, in fact, the college now the program is called Alfred Ford School of Management. So, I've been involved in that, and I taught a course for an MBA program. So that was for education I have been doing, and currently, as I mentioned, I'm teaching a Bhakti Shastri course for ISKCON Leicester. And of course, I'm always more than happy to be doing any service I'm asked to do for ISKCON Coventry. Coventry is a wonderful place, and it always brings joy to be doing something with you or just associating with Coventry devotees. So thank you. Hare Krishna.
Thank you for that, Raghupati Prabhu. So now please enlighten us about Krishna Janmastami.
Hare Krishna.
Please finish just a few minutes before 6. Then can go to the temple at 6 o'clock for the Aarti. Okay?
Okay.
Okay.
Om Agyantimrandhasya Gyananjan Shalakya Chakshunmirtamena Tasmai Shri Guruve Namaha. Shri Chaitanya Manohishtam Sthaptamena Bhutale Swam Rupa Kadamahyam Dadati Swapadantikam. Vandeham Shri Guru Shri Utpad Kamlam Shri Gurun Vaishnavanscha Shri Rupam Sagrajatam Sagarabhnatan Mitam Sajivam Sadvaitam Savadhutam Parijan Sahitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Shri Radha Krishna Padan Shahagunalta Shri Vishakhamitansha. He Krishna Karuna Sindhu Dinamandhu Jagatpate Gopesh Gopika Kant Radha Kant Namastute Taptkanchan Gaurangi Radhe Vrindavaneshwari Vishwahana Sute Devi Pranamami Hare Priya. Vancha Kalptarubhe Shukrpa Sindhubhe Vicha Patitanam Pavnebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namaha. Jai Sri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityanand Shri Advaita Gadadhar Shivasari Gaur Bhaktivinoda. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Om Namo Bhagavate Tubhyam Vasudevaya Dhimahi Pradyumna Anuruddhaya Namaha Sankarshanaya Cha. Hare Krishna. So it's Balaram Purnima tomorrow, and in the last session we had covered various demons that Krishna killed in his Vrindavan pastimes. So we'll carry on with the same theme of the powerful effect of hearing Krishna's pastimes, particularly these demons that were killed by the Lord. So for today, I've decided to cover a couple of pastimes. So we'll start with Pralambasur and then move on to Brahma Bhuman Leela and then Govardhan Leela. So these three pastimes we intend to cover today. In the Nityanandastakam, Krishnadas Kaviraj Goswami has prayed to Lord Nityanand, who is also Balram. Nityanand Ram and Balram, they are same personality. So he says, Bhaje Nityanandam, Bhajan Tarukandam Nirvadhi. That I worship Lord Nityanand, or Lord Balram, because he is the root of the tree of devotion. So Bhajan Taru Kandam Nirvadhi. So because the Lord Balram, Supreme Personality of Godhead. He is the root of the tree of devotion. And what does he carry? He carries a gada, mace, and he carries a plow. So through his plow, he is doing, he is growing something. He is doing agriculture and growing something. And what is that he is growing? He is growing devotees. So he is growing devotion and devotees. So this is the function of Sri Guru. Lord Balaram is Adi Guru, and by having a plow, he plows our hearts and grows Krishna's devotion, pure devotional service within our heart. So although Lord Balaram remains in the support role, because he is Sevak Bhagavan, he is Supreme Personality of Godhead, non-different from Krishna. But in his Vrindavan role and in his pastimes, he plays a support role, because that's the function of the Guru, supporting Krishna, serving Krishna. So he is in a service mode. So he is Sevak Bhagavan, whereas Krishna is Sevya Bhagavan. Krishna is the worshipable personality of Godhead, and Lord Balaram is the worshipper personality of Godhead. Krishna kills 22 demons in his Vrindavan pastime. He kills many more, but 22 prominent demons. He's starting from Putna, going up to Keshi. So some 22 demons are killed by the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Lord Balaram kills only few, namely Dhenukasur and Pralambasur. So Dhenukasur is an ass demon. And by killing Dhenukasur, he removes the ignorance. Because ass is the symptom or characteristic of stupidity or ignorance. So he removes ignorance. And Pralambasur, the story we're going to cover today, is a demon sent by Kamsa, and he came disguised as a cowherd boy. Lord Balaram detected him. So Krishna and Balaram are playing in Vrindavan. This Pralambasur comes. He disguised himself as one of the cowherd boy, and then he is siding. Krishna and Balaram had two sides playing together. So he sides with Lord Balaram's side. He wanted to kill Krishna and Balaram, both. But he thought, if I kill Balaram, then since Krishna loves Balaram so much, Krishna will eventually leave his body. So he thought Krishna will die if I just simply kill Balaram. Because Krishna and Balaram are inseparable. So both sides are fighting, they are wrestling, they are playing, and Lord Balaram's side loses. And the condition was that whichever side loses, they have to carry the other side on their back. So one of the sides loses, and then Dhenukasur is supposed to carry Balaram, because his side lost. So he was carrying Balaram on his back. And Balaram was enjoying the ride. He thought, oh, what? It's really nice. So he was enjoying the ride. And then this Pralambasur thought, I got my prey. So as he became more comfortable, Pralambasur started running. And he started running towards Mathura, because he wanted to show Kamsa that actually I got him. I got Balaram, and here he is. So when Lord Balaram detected that actually this a cowherd boy is running so fast, and then eventually he assumed his demonic form, as you can see from the picture here. So beautifully put, this picture. Thank you for putting that picture. Anuragi Mataji. So yes, Lord Balaram recognized that this is a demon, Brahmasur. And he was running so fast. So Lord Balaram simply just hit him on his head. Now you can imagine, Lord Balaram is Anantashesh. He is the source of Anantashesh. Anantashesh is carrying unlimited universes on his head. So simply by his fist, this Brahmasur immediately got crushed onto the ground and died. So our Acharyas, Bhaktivinoda Thakur explains that Brahmasur represents the desire to enjoy women, greed, prestige, and worship. So these are anarthas or unwanted things that are represented by Brahmasur. Now the question is, how do we get rid of these anarthas? Because they are lying there, greed, the prestige, the desire for worship, desire to enjoy women. These seem to be the characteristics of modern day life. In fact, more successful people are in modern day life, more you would find that they are entangled in these unwanted habits or these dirty habits. For example, greed. Because of that greed, so many times there have been economic crisis. In 2008, there was an economic crisis because of the greed, bankers' greed. The bankers get so much money, millions of pounds paid, but still they're not happy. So the greed is an enemy. Krishna says in Bhagavad Gita, Kramesha Krodesha Rajagun Samadha. He says, Trivadham Narkasya Edam Dwaram Nashanam Atma. Kama Krodha Tatha Lobha Tasmat Etat Triyam Tajet. So he's saying there are three gateways to hell, and greed is one of them. So gateway to hell, Kama, Krodha, Tatha, Lobha. So Lobha or greed is as dangerous or as harmful as lust and anger. So greed is represented by this demon Brahmasur, then prestige and worship. These are subtle, very subtle anarthas. So even if we come to spiritual life, these subtle anarthas, they creep in or they remain there for many, many years, namely prestige and worship. So Bhaktivinoda Thakur has written a song called Vaishnav Ke. What kind of Vaishnav are you? That's the name of the song, Vaishnav Ke. What sort of Vaishnav are you? And this song, this was written by Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur, not Bhaktivinoda Thakur, Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur, his son. So he wrote this song, Vaishnav Ke. What kind of Vaishnav are you? And this is a very important song, very beautiful song, just to sometimes go deep into ourselves and see what kind of Vaishnav am I. So this is the picture of Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur, who wrote this beautiful song. He says, Kanak Kamani Pratishtha Bhaghini. That my dear mind, he addresses to his mind, he said, my dear mind, what kind of Vaishnava are you? Within your heart reside these desires for Kanak, Kamini, and Pratishtha Bhagini, for gold, women, and Pratishtha. So subtle, more subtler desire than gold and women, to enjoy gold and women, is Pratishtha. Pratishtha is the desire for worship, the desire for importance, the prestige, the desire for prestige. So in devotional service, I think time to time we need to take opportunity to go deep and look into this. What kind of Vaishnava have I become, or I want to become, or what kind of Vaishnava am I? Vaishnava K. So Pralambasur, it represents these desires, as we mentioned earlier on. Now the question is, how do we get rid of these desires? For subtle desires or gross desires? And Bhaktivinoda Thakur explains that just by hearing Krishna's pastimes, Lord Balaram's killing of Pralambasur will help us to conquer these desires for enjoying women, greed, prestige, and worship. Now we come to two more pastimes that we want to cover, and one of them is Brahma Vimohan Leela. So in the very beginning of Srimad Bhagavatam, first canto, first verse, Shukdev Goswami is explaining Janmadyasyatah Anvayat Itaratasya Arthesva Vigyaswarat Teno Brahma Hridaya Adikavaya Muhyanti Yat Surya. So he is saying that Krishna, as the Supreme Personality of Godhead, is not easily understood. Name vidu swarguna prabham na maharshya aham adirhi devanam maharshinam cha sarvashah. So Krishna cannot be understood. He is saying that he cannot be understood by the host of demigods, including Lord Brahma and Shiva. Why? Because he's in Srimad Bhagavatam he has been praised as Shivirinchinitam, the Supreme Lord who is worshipped by Lord Brahma and Lord Shiva. They are two prominent personalities. One responsible for the creation, Lord Brahma, and one responsible for destruction, Lord Shiva. But Krishna is worshipped by them, so he is known as Shivavirinchinitam. So Tene Brahma Hridaya Adi Kavaye Muhyanti Yat Surya. The same Supreme Personality of Godhead, Krishna, he imparted the knowledge of the Veda through the Gayatri into the heart of Brahmaji. So Brahmaji is not only the son of Lord Krishna or Lord Vishnu, but he is also his first disciple. And yet, Lord Brahma became bewildered in Krishna's pastimes 5,000 years ago. It so happened that after killing of Aghasur, we heard the pastime of Aghasur last time, in the last session. So after killing of Aghasur, Krishna thought everybody is tired, everybody needs some break. So he took all his friends on the banks of Yamuna and asked them to come and enjoy the meal. So they thought, we just killed Aghasur, and Aghasur was killed, everybody was tired. And then Krishna said, okay, why don't we just eat? Okay, let's just have a break. Let the calves go and graze in the forest. And we just sit down in this very soft sand of Yamuna and enjoy our meal. So the gopis used to give the lunch boxes to all the cowherd boys. Mother Yashoda used to pack something for Balaram and Krishna, and other gopis Other cowherd boys, they used to bring from their homes. Subal, Sridham, Stok Krishna, all of them, and others. So some of the boys, cowherd boys, who had no lunch boxes packed for them, they approached Krishna and told him in his ears that, look, Krishna, we haven't got anything to eat, and you are inviting everyone. So what are we going to do? So Krishna said in their ears, friend, don't worry. I'll make everything possible. So then Krishna sat down, he opened his box, and he invited all his friends. He said, look, I got something Mother Yashoda gave me. Look, Balram, you got something. Sudama, you got something. Sridama, you got something. Subalsaka, you got something. Why don't we all share? Why don't we just give whatever we got from our home and share with each other? So all the cowherd boy, they wanted to share everything they had with Krishna. And those who didn't have anything, they wished they had something to share and feed Krishna. So one by one, these cowherd boys came and offered something. And then Krishna would eat very little, and then he would say, yeah, just go and distribute to everyone. Let everyone eat. So that way, they were giving Krishna was eating something, then they were going around and feeding each other. And it became such a beautiful scene, as you can see from the picture here. Everyone is feeding each other. And this is how they shared their love for Krishna. But Krishna wanted that love should be shared amongst all of them, no matter which house they came from a poor house or rich house, and everyone shared. So while this feast was going on, this great feast was going on, Lord Brahma came to see that how the Supreme Personality of Godhead, Krishna, was able to kill Aghasur demon, who was so frightening that even the demigods used to be afraid of him. So Aghasur came in the form of a snake, as we heard last time. So Lord Brahma came to see it. And this is the scene he saw. Krishna, Balaram, seated in the midst of the assembly of cowherd boys and just enjoying their meal, feeding each other, laughing, joking, and they were just having a great time. So when Lord Brahma saw this, he became confused that this young boy, Krishna, how come he allowed this cowherd boy to feed him, and he's feeding them, and this is just so dirty. He is the same personality who is offered Purushut prayers and given the best of the preparations, and he hardly eats them. But here, he's snatching from each other's arm, he's feeding them, eating, laughing, joking. So Lord Brahma became confused. So he wanted to test him. So by his mystic power, before touching the ground, he first of all took away all the caps, Krishna's caps. So Krishna went to look for the caps because he thought, looks like something has happened. So Krishna went to look for the caps and he couldn't find them. Then Krishna came to the place in Yamuna to look for his friends and he couldn't find them. So he immediately understood that looks like this is Brahma's trick. Looks like he has hidden my friends, taken away my friends. So Krishna, by his mystic powers, by half of his side, he expanded himself into the calves and into the cowherd boys. hundreds of millions of calves and cowherd boys. He expanded. And then he played with them as he was playing before. So Krishna himself became cowherd boy and the calves. And now he's playing, and at the end of the day, then Krishna took those cowherd boys to Vrindavan. Now the cows and the gopis, when they saw Krishna coming back, they felt that their affection, their love for Krishna had increased millions of times more. And they felt so affectionate, drawn to Krishna, the cows and the gopis. So this went on for 1 year. And that's why in Srimad Bhagavatam, we find the description that for 1 year, the Brijvasis never heard about Aghasura's killing. This was the reason, that for 1 year, Krishna himself had transformed into cowherd boys and the gopas, the calves and cowherd boys. So one day Krishna was grazing his calves, and along with his friends, and the gopas, the elderly gopas, came to see them, and they felt so much drawn to Krishna. So first the gopis and the cows felt so much affectionate for Krishna. Now the gopas felt so much affection. So after 1 year, Brahma came to the same place to see what was happening. But when he saw that the calves were there and gopas were there, and Krishna was playing as before, grazing them, laughing, so he was bewildered. So first he went and saw and checked, and he found that all the cowherd boys and calves were sleeping where he put them through his mystic power. Then he came again and saw that Krishna was playing with his cowherd boys and the calves. And then Brahma became totally bewildered by Krishna's mystic power. Now, in order to help Brahma recover from this bewilderment, Krishna expanded himself. So when Brahma, with the help of Yogamaya, saw Krishna again, he saw that every calf and cowherd boy was none other than Krishna himself. So the Lord had expanded himself into unlimited Vishnu forms. Because Brahma is a worshipper, he is a devotee of Mahavishnu. So first Krishna expanded himself into cowherd boys and calves, then he displayed his Vishnu form to Brahma. And Brahma understood that this is the Supreme Personality of Godhead, who I misunderstood. And then he brought the cowherd boys and calves back to Krishna, and then he prayed. So in Srimad Bhagavatam, there's a beautiful Brahma Stuti. Similarly, in a Garga Samhita, which is narrated by Lord Shiva, there's also a very beautiful Brahma Stuti. So I'm just going to narrate 1 or 2 verses for today. So Brahmaji is speaking here. He says, Krishnastu sakshat purushottamah swayam. Krishnastu sakshat purushottamah swayam. Purna pareshah prakriti paro hari. Yasavataransh kalavayam pusuraha. Yasavataransh kalavayam suraha. Shrijam Vishwam Kramto Vasya Shakti. Meaning is that Krishna is Sakshat Purushottama. He is the Supreme Personality of Godhead himself. He is complete. He is the Lord of the Lords. He is beyond the realm of material creation. and he is Lord Hari himself. Then somebody may say, then what are you? If Krishna has everything, then what are you? So Lord Brahma here explains, Yasavataran Shikala Vayam Sura Srijam Vishwam Kramito Asya Shakti, that all the demigods, Vayam, he is using the word Vayam, that all we demigods are the portions of the portions, plenary portions of Krishna, and by his order we are creating, maintaining, and destroying this universe. By his order. Srijam Vishwam Kramitva Shiv Shakti. We are able to create this universe, like Lord Brahma is a creator, but he is only secondary creator. Krishna is the primary creator. So, having given this power to create, Lord Brahma is able to create. So, this is a beautiful verse. Lord Brahma is speaking. And just looking at the time, we have one more pastime to cover. So, I will leave this verse here. Such a beautiful verse. So, this is Lord Brahma being bewildered by Krishna's pastimes, by Krishna's mystic energy. Now, according to Bhaktivinoda Thakur, he says that this pastime of Lord Brahma being bewildered displays skepticism, doubt about Krishna's supremacy. So these two anarthas are represented by Brahma Bhuvan Leela, skepticism. And time to time, as devotees, we have to dig deep into our heart and see that have I accepted Krishna as the Supreme Personality of Godhead. I remember there was a devotee who struggled for some 25-30 years. And he was serving in ISKCON temples, and he was associating. But for some strange reasons, he was unable to accept Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu as the Supreme Personality of Godhead, Krishna himself. So on the day of Narsingh Chaturdasi, just before he departed, he left his body. So somehow by the mercy of Lord Nrsimhadev, that day when he went to offer flower to Lord Nrsimhadev on the altar, and he looked at Gaurnitai deities, it hit him that Gaurnitai are non-different from Krishna Balaram. Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is Krishna himself, and Lord Balaram is Nityananda. And then he wrote in his diary. So skepticism is represented from this Leela. And then a doubt about Krishna's supremacy. One time a devotee joined, he was in a medical college, and he had a very questioning mind, which is not a problem. But if you maintain the doubts year after year, then that is a problem. So he maintained this doubt that who is supreme, Lord Vishnu or Krishna. So he came from a Hindu background, as many of us have come, and he maintained this doubt. So he thought that Vishnu is supreme. As Gaudiya Vaishnavas, we put Krishna as supreme. And eventually, he left devotional service. At least as a devotee in ISKCON, he left. So time to time, these subtle doubts can become impediments on the path of our devotional service. We just got a few minutes left to cover one more pastime, which is Lord Indra. So we can see Tene Brahma Hridaya Adi Kavya Muhyanti Surya. How even the great scholars, great learned personalities like Lord Brahma, Lord Indra, they become bewildered. So Govardhan Leela, where Indra become bewildered. These pastimes have been described in Srimad Bhagavatam in great detail, and similarly in Garga Samhita and other scriptures. So the descriptions we are going to include today are from Garga Samhita. So as the pastime begins, the Lord notices his father is preparing for some sacrifice. So he goes to his father Nanda Maharaj and says, Father, what is this sacrifice being prepared? And then Krishna argues with his father, and he explains to him that what to say about Indra. So Nanda Maharaj said, this is Indra Yagya, because Indra gives us rain, and from rain we get grains and crops, and our cows get grass. So we worship Indra once in a year. Krishna argues with him and convinces Nanda Maharaj by saying that what to say of Indra. Even Lord Brahma is afraid of the eternal time, Mahakal. So if somebody is afraid of Mahakal, they are all under the subjugation of Mahakal. Why worship him? Because he is not supreme. So why don't you worship Supreme Lord Hari, who is maintaining these demigods? So somehow Krishna convinces his father, and an elderly Gopa, Sananda, he approves Krishna's argument to Nanda Maharaj. He says, I think our Krishna is speaking right. We should worship Supreme Lord Hari, and if he is saying that we should worship Govardhan, then why are we waiting? So this way, Nanda Maharaj is convinced. Then Krishna also gives the method of worshipping Govardhan. So he tells Nanda Maharaj how to worship Govardhan. And in our temples, in ISKCON temples, we worship Govardhan like that. There may be some variations, but this is how Krishna tells in Srimad Bhagavatam and also in Garga Samhita how to worship Govardhan. He even gives the mantras. He establishes the process of worship. So he says that Govardhan must be worshipped by first of all bringing the holy water from Ganga and other places with Abhishek, chanting of Purush Suktra. Then through Panchamrit, his Abhishek must be performed by qualified Brahmanas, and then Annakut must be offered, mixed with Tulsi. And Krishna also gives the list of preparation that must be offered to Govardhan. So Nanda Maharaj worships Govardhan as Krishna has recommended, exactly. And then he says all the Gopas, they should do Sankirtan and then production of Govardhan. So Nanda Maharaj exactly worshipped Govardhan. Indra becomes angry because Narad Muni goes and tells Indra that actually this year they are not going to worship you. So what are you going to do? And that makes Indra angry. So he goes, sends his Samvartak clouds. But in order to counteract Indra's wrath, Krishna calls all the Brijavasis, because Brijavasis, they come at the shelter of Krishna and Balaram. And whoever takes shelter of Krishna and Balaram is always protected. So the Brijavasis come, and Krishna says, don't worry, just come with me. Now you can imagine how much faith they must have. 7-year-old boy calling entire Brajmandal to come under the shelter of a mountain he is going to lift. So he lifts that mountain. Then Krishna appoints, he asked Anantashesh to guard the mountain from his circumference. So all around the mountain, Anantashesh was guarding because Sambata clouds were thundering and pouring down rain. And then he asked Sudarshan Chakra to counteract the rainfalls. So that way, the Lord protected Brijvasis and Brijvasis for 7 days just by looking at the lotus face of the Lord. They forgot eating, sleeping, and they simply were enjoying the transcendental bliss of looking at Krishna's face. So that way Krishna saved the Brijvasis. And Indra came to his senses because he came to fight. Then as he was about to release his weapon, Indra's weapon, Krishna totally disabled his arm. So Indra came to his senses and he offered some beautiful prayers. So very quickly I'm just going to chant the prayer. It says in Garg Samhita that anyone who chants these prayers becomes free from all miseries and all fear. So that's just one verse from this prayer. He said, Tvam Deva Devaha, Tvam Deva Devaha Parameshwara Prabhu, Punaha Puranaha Purushottamuttamah, Paraparastvam Prakrite Paro Harirmamam, Parasparastvam Prakrite Paro Harirmam, Pahi Pahi Dvipate Jagatpate, Mam Pahi Pahi Dvipate Jagatpate. So here we can see that how Indra is also praying, my dear Lord, Tam Deva Deva, I may be the Lord of the demigods, but actually speaking, you are the Lord of all the demigods. Because you are Parameshwar, you are the Supreme Personality of Godhead, Punaha Purana, you are complete in yourself, and the most ancient personality, Purushottam Uttama, and you are the supreme personality of Godhead. You are beyond the realm of material nature, as Brahmaji also says. And Mam Pahi Pahi Dvipate Jagatpate, my dear Lord, please give me shelter at your lotus feet. So this is a beautiful prayer. In future, if we have opportunity, we can discuss this prayer. But for now, we will finish here because time is 6 o'clock. So I'll finish here. Hare Krishna.
Fantastic. Thank you very much, Raghupati Prabhu. And thank you for encouraging words, wisdom, commentary in the beginning. They mean a lot to us. And of course, we must, as when this whole COVID business is over, we want to engage you in different types of means of education in our yatra. That'd be really appreciated. Amazing. Thank you very much. I hope we can
Thank
have
you. Hare Krishna.
Hare
Thank you to all the Coventry devotees. Thank you. Shila Prabhupada ki jai.
Raghupati Prabhu ki jai. Such a learned person. Wonderful to have him. So now very soon we'll be having the main arati. Gorati will be sung by Patipan Prabhu and his family, and the main arati will be sung by Damodar Prabhu, followed by Nasinga prayers sung by Aki. So it'd be nice that to be her first time, so welcome to her. I just wanted to say that as the class was going on, you were watching some lovely pictures, and these pictures are famous. Initially in ISKCON, but then worldwide people have realized how beautiful these pictures are, and everybody around the world are using these pictures when they want to discuss spiritual topics. So the person who drew a lot of these pictures, his name is, just give me a second, Ramdas Abhiram Prabhu, under the guidance of Srila Prabhupada, he painted so many of these wonderful pictures in his books. Sadly, a few days ago, he left his body, he departed, and we will be remembering him for nothing but praise today. That's such a loss, such a loss. His pictures are famous around the world. Hare Krishna. So we'll go to the Patipan family now, and they can sing Guru Aarti, and there'll also be shots of the Aarti happening in the temple. Hare Krishna.
नमो यों विष्णुपदाय कृष्णप्रेष्ठाय भूतले हेमदे भक्ति वेदांत स्वामीति नामिने नमो यों विष्णुपदाय कृष्णप्रेष्ठाय भूतले श्रीमते भक्ति वेदांत स्वामीति नामिने नमस्ते सरस्वती देवे गौरवाणी प्रचारिणे निर्विशेष शून्यवादी अष्टतादिशतारिणे श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर शिवसरि गौर भक्तवृंद श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर शिवसरि गौर भक्तवृंद हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे 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 कृष्णा 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे 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 कृष्णा 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 हरे हरे Hare Ramo, Hare Ramo, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Jayo Radha Gokulanand, Radha Gokulanand Radhe. Jayo Radha Gokulanand, Radha Gokulanand Radhe. Jayo Radha Madhava, Radha Madhava Radhe. Jayo Radhe Shyama Sundar Radhe, Shyama Sundar Radhe. Jayo Sita Ram Lakshman Hanuman, Jayo Sita Ram Lakshman Hanuman. Jayo Sita Ram Lakshman Hanuman, Jayo Sita Ram Lakshman Hanuman. Sita Ram 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 Sita Ram 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 Sita Ram 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 Sita Ram Ram Ram. Raja Ram 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 Raja Ram 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 Raja Ram 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 Raja Ram Ram Ram. Sita Ram 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 Sita Ram 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 Raja Ram 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 Raja Ram Ram Ram. Sita Ram 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 Sita Ram 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 Sita Ram 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 Sita Ram Ram Ram. Raja Ram 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 Raja Ram 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 Raja Ram 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 Raja Ram Ram Ram. Jagannath Swami Nayana Patagami, Dayana Patagami Bhavatu me. Jayo Jagannath, Jayo Jagannath, Jayo Baladeva, Jaya Subhadra. Jagannath Swami Nayana Patagami, Nayana Patagami Bhavatu me. Jayo Jagannath, Jayo Jagannath, Jayo Baladeva, Jaya Subhadra. Jayo Jagannath, Jayo Jagannath, Jayo Baladeva, Jaya Subhadra. Jayo Sachinandan, Jayo Nitai Chan, Jayo Sachinandan, Jayo Nitai Chan, Jayo Sachinandan, Jayo Nitai Chan, Jayo Sachinandan, Jayo Nitai Chan. Nitai Gauranga, Gaura Hari, Nitai Gauranga, Gaura Hari, Gaura 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 Hari, Jai Sachinandan Gaura Hari, Gaura 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 Hari, Jai Sachinandan Gaura Hari. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ramo, Ramo Rama Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ramo, Ramo Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ramo, Ram Ram Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram Ram Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram Ram Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram Ram Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram Ram Hare Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram Ram Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram Ram Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram Ram Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram Ram Hare Govind Jai Jai Gopal Jai Jai 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 Radha Raman Hari Govind Jai Jai Radha Raman Hari Govind Jai Jai Govind Jai Jai Gopal Jai Jai Radha Raman Hari Govind Jai Jai Govind Jai Jai Gopal Jai Jai Govind Jai Jai Gopal Jai Jai Radha Raman Hari Govind Jai Jai Radha Raman Hari Govind Jai Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ramo Ram Ram Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ramo Ram Ram Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Ram Ram Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram Ram Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram Ram Hare Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram Hare Ram Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram Ram Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram Ram Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram Ram Hare Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Hare. Jaya Prabhupada, Jaya Prabhupada, Prabhupada, Jaya Prabhupada, Jaya Prabhupada, 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 Jaya Prabhupada, Jaya Jaya Prabhupada, 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 Jaya Jaya Prabhupada, Jaya Jaya Prabhupada, 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 Jaya Jaya Prabhupada, Jaya Jaya Gurudev, 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 Jaya Jaya Gurudev, Jaya Jaya Gurudev, 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 Jaya Jaya Gurudev. Nitai Gaur Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Nitai Gaur Hari Bol, 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 Hari Bol. और बेमान दे हरि हरि बोल। शिल्पुपाद जय गुरु महाराज की जय। हरे कृष्णा।
Hare Krishna, Jayam
हरि
Vishnupad,
बोल जय।
Parivradakacharya, Shtota Sashti Srimati Divine Grace, A.C. Bhaktivedanta Goswami Maharaj Prabhupada ki jai, ISKCON Vivedi Founder Acharya Jagat Guru Srila Prabhupada ki jai, Shri Shri Satyanandan Nitai Chand ki jai, Shri Shri Jagannath Baldev Subhadra ki jai, Shri Shri Radha Madhav ki jai, Shri Shri Sitaram Hanuman ki jai, Prem se go Shri Krishna Chaitanya Nitya Prabhu Nityanand Shri Advaita Gadada Srivasadi Gaura Bhaktavinda ki jai, Shri Shri Radha Krishna Gop Gopinath Radha Kund Shama Kund Giri Govardhan ki jai, ISKCON Coventry Yatra ki jai, ISKCON Worldwide Yatra ki jai, Gaura Premanand Hari Bol, all glories to the assembled devotees, all glories to the assembled viewers, all glories to the assembled viewers. Gaura Hari Bol. So, we normally request that if people would like to have somebody they know remembered for Nasingati, they could type that into the chat box. But definitely what the person will remember right now is Ramdas Abhiram Prabhu, who drew most of the pictures in our ISKCON books, which are famous all over the world. He departed a few days. There we go. He departed a few days ago. So it was such a loss. We will go over now to Aki. This will be a first contribution for the Sunday program to sing the Nursing Arati. Hare Krishna. We also want to remember. There's a family, lovely there. We also want to remember early in the week. Shraddha Devi had last week she had a fall in town, and then she ended up in hospital. Good news is she spent a couple of days there, immobilized and told not to move in case of damage to the nerves, the spinal cord. But everything's okay, and she's been let out. So we will remember her. And earlier than that, there was our godbrother Vivasvan was in hospital, but he's home also now. So, and of course, the continuing recovery of Prem Manjari. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Namaste Narasingaya, Namaste Narasingaya, प्रहलाद लाद दयाने हिरण्यकाशीपुरपक्षया हिरण्यकाशीपुरपक्षया शीलटङ्कानकालाये इतो नरसिंहो परतो नरसिंहो यतो यतो यमिततो नरसिंहो बहि नरसिंहो हृदये नरसिंहो नरसिंहमदिं शरणं प्रपदे तब कर कमल भरे नकाम अद्भुत श्रृंगाया दलिता हिरण्यकशिपु तनुभृङ्गां केशवधृता नरहरिरूपा जय जगदीश हरे जय जगदीश हरे जय जगदीश हरे जय नरसिंहदेव जय नरसिंहदेव जय नरसिंहदेव जय नरसिंहदेव जय प्रहलाद महाराज जय प्रहलाद महाराज जय प्रहलाद महाराज जय प्रहलाद महाराज निताय गौरा हरि बोल हरि बोल हरि बोल निताय गौरा हरि बोल 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 नरसिंह भगवान की जय प्रहलाद महाराज की जय प्रभुपाद की जय गुरुदेव की जय हरि बोल
Hare Krishna. Thank you. And nice to see the family at our Sunday program. And we hope to hear more of you in the future programs. Thank you. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
So before we go to Anuragi for announcements, just a reminder that the discussion we had earlier on. Last week we had announced a program where a great devotee called Parashuram Das would come over with a team and they would cook on a large scale and they would distribute the prasadam to devotees and congregation in the area. And following that, concerns expressed by different members around the community, it was decided for safety reasons we cannot do that yet. So Parshuram has been gracefully accepted our decision, and I told him we are not canceling it, we are postponing it. So when everything is safe, we will carry out that program. In the meantime, what we have proposed to do next weekend is a fundraising event whereby ISKCON Commentary does need enough funds to run, because although the public are not coming, but the worship is going on to the lordships. That cannot stop. So we need to raise funds to see us through the next few months. Janmastami is a good time to raise funds. So we are appealing for people to give donations. And if you give 51 pounds plus, then you will be mercifully receiving baby Krishna at your house. Baby Krishna will come. Devotees will come in a car. Baby Krishna will be all dressed up, and you can offer at a distance some puja, some donations, some andan. You can do that when baby Krishna comes. And if you are generous enough to donate more than 108 pounds or more, then our beloved Sachindananda Chan will come to your home, accompanied by devotees. They did this before the installation almost 26 years ago. So after 26 years, they are coming out again to you. Please take advantage of this opportunity. It will not be happening again for a long time. Now, for the rest of the announcements, I will hand over to Anuragi. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Thank you to all the viewers for tuning in today. A big welcome to all the new subscribers on YouTube, and we'd like to thank everyone for watching. So just to remind you, please subscribe to our YouTube channel. That's Krishna of Vrindavan on YouTube. Please do press the bell icon and you will be alerted and notified of live events as soon as we go live. Also, please follow us on Instagram, Twitter, and visit our website at www.krishnaofvrindavan.com, where you will also receive updates of live events. We also have the Chaturmasya booking system where you can offer your Bhoga. So Bhoga to the Lordships is offered every day on a daily basis, morning and evening. And this holy period of the 4 months, you can select any day on the website, and the Bhoga will be offered via your name to the deity, Sachin and Chand. So please do avail this opportunity and gain spiritual benefit by booking your online pujas and online bookings, Bhoga donations. Also, as mentioned previously, in celebration of Janmastami, the deities will be visiting your homes. So if you would like to register for this event, we already have had, while the program was going on, about 10 bookings confirmed already. So a big thank you for those devotees who have already booked for these deity visits. So please do send us a message or contact any of the senior devotees. You can transfer your donation via BACS, via bank transfer, and the details will be shown below. So the reference for this would be Janmastami Fundraising or Janmastami Funds 2020. So the SSRKCC bank details are shown below with the sort code and account number. You can do a bank transfer. If some of you want to send a check, you can send a check via post. Please contact one of the devotees. Please do make your bookings as early as possible, because there is only a set time where the deities will be leaving the temple. And if you really want your name on the list, please, I really, really urge you to send your name in as soon as possible, get registered, get your name booked on the list, and receive the deity's blessings. So that's all for now. Thank you very much. So Janmastami is coming up on the 12th of August. So that will be an online broadcast. The events are shared here. The different details are shared. So it's 9:30 till 12:30. And as mentioned previously, there will be live Bhoga offerings. So when the main Bhoga offering will be going on to the deities in the temple, your offering can also be a part of that via Zoom. So we'll send you out a Zoom link. You'll be connected to that same link where the offering will be happening simultaneously in the temple, and your offerings will be also offered to the Lord on the same day. We'll send out the time and details and the link later on. So please do keep watching our YouTube channel. Thank you for all your support so far. And we will see you same time, same place next week. Thank you. Hare Krishna.